Hi everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 34 deadline stream with me, Holly Shand. The free hit is active. I'm getting close to locking it in, subject to any team leaks, although I'm not expecting a huge week for leaks because we only have 3 Premier League games today, 2 3 o'clock kickoffs, Luton v Brentford, Sheffield United v Burnley, and then tonight, 7:30 kickoff is Wolves v Arsenal. I've already got VJ and FPL Down Under in the chat modding and a few members in as well. Hi Scott, good to see you as well. A big week with the free hit, I'm quite excited. Had to make some changes after the press conferences yesterday, but hopefully we're where we should be. I try and be here most weeks, so if you are new, make sure that you've hit the like button. Try and get to 100 likes, first of all, and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are here, come and say hello in the chat and start dropping your questions in, because that's going to be the big focus of the stream today, is going to be answering questions, particularly helpful if you are on a free hit. I've also got my free hit team to share with you as well. So the big change from the team selection video posted on Monday is Mateta is in for Kuna, who got ruled out in the Wolves press conference yesterday. Interestingly, Wolves squad looks pretty threadbare, which does increase the stock of Arsenal assets as well. So now on triple Arsenal, triple Liverpool, triple Palace, I've gone with Van Dijk over Trent from Liverpool because of some of Jurgen Klopp's comments that we went through yesterday. Captain Salah for me. The captain poll is live, by the way, so make sure you go and vote in it. And then Solanke and Pickford are the final couple in there. So that's where I'm at the moment, subject to change. The big news that we got yesterday, I've just seen that this has cropped my team out. How can I... Is that worse? Let me go the other way. There we go. That's better. The big news that we had yesterday then was regarding Kuna, who is out. Aït-Nouri will only be good enough for the bench for Wolves as well today. He's another popular asset on this double game week for Wolves. I think Wolves are a complete avoid now, if I'm honest. Haaland, Pep said it was 50-50 for the Cup semi-final. That kicks off at 5:15 today. We could potentially get a leak on that, whether... that's useful for people, I'm not sure. But I think unless you're on wildcard next week, I'd just hold on to Haaland because inevitably you'll be buying him back. And Branthwaite could return for Everton as well. That was the summary of the main news. Kuna was an unfortunate one. I think he'd had 200,000 transfers in yesterday, up to yesterday before that news dropped. There's still people that have bought him since that news came, which is bizarre. It's now Eze, the most bought player. He was a differential at the start of the week. He still is 9.5% owned. Then Saka, Solanke, Diaz and Salah, with those making way, including Son, Haaland, Bradley, Porro and Bowen. I've got the TweetDeck open. I've also got WhatsApp open. I've got Discord leaks open. So if we do get any team leaks... I'm going to have it covered for you, do not worry. So I'll keep tracking back between this and other things as well, but just so that you know, that is there. I'm going to bob over to the live chat then. So VJ is in and modding and says morning from Watford. We had Bonkers LFC was in early as well. T Black, Nelson, Bilal, Dafarsha, Eddie, Rohan, FPL Down Under, Starboy George, Cold Palmer, like that username, Scott West, Sujan, Daniel, Abudrick, Wayne, Myrtle, Glyn, Benny, Rohit, Mark, Howie, Shamil and Agris are all in. So thank you so much for joining, guys. I will get to your questions shortly. The first thing I want to do is run through all the team news that we had in yesterday. So I think I've got most of these bookmarked. So if we start off, one thing that I saw this morning, because we didn't get a Villa press conference yesterday, that's going to come through. To be fair, it wasn't that that enlightening, to be fair. Obviously, Douglas Luiz is still suspended. Pep had to say, I know City don't play till Thursday in the league, but it's important that Kevin seems well. Haaland, we will see. He's felt something, a muscular issue, and he's 50-50 for the Cup semi-final later. Fernandes, Desai and Sterling have all been taken off Chelsea's injury list, and Kunku is a partial team training. Akshat is in and modding. Good to see you. Ivan Toney is progressing well, desperate to start according to Thomas Frank, but he did not confirm if he will do. Norgard and Ojer will be available. Luton's injury situation is still dire. Mengi the only one to return this week. Arteta claims he's got a fully fit squad. Too soon for Timber, potentially. Branthwaite and Calvert-Lewin and Idrissa Gueye all potentially back for Everton, but Patterson's been ruled out for the rest of the season. Everyone's fine at Fulham. Kuna is out for Wolves. Neto should be back before the end of the season. Aït-Nouri could be available for the bench. Semedo out. Huang only available for 45 minutes. Bellegarde is out. Dawson's had an operation. I think Wolves have only got 10 fit first-team players and are going to have to use their youth squad. This was the interesting one that put me off Trent. This was what Klopp said after the Europa League game the other night, which has put me off a little bit, I will be honest. I just feel like I don't know if I can really go there now because minutes are just such a concern. Oh. That was Trent will be checked after making his first start in over 2 months on Thursday night. If Trent had been a bit fitter, we could have gone a bit longer, but it is insane that he even played. In the end, he was running out of gas. That was enough to put me off Trent on free hit. I think they were the key ones, if I'm honest. So I'll put my team back up then, and I am going to go through your questions, but I am going to go through in chronological order. So if you're only just asking, you are going to have to be a little bit patient. So T Black says, should I triple captain or bench boost this week? It would be helpful to have a bit more info, T Black, on who your bench boost is. I think if you're in with a shot of a bench boost, just get it played, in my opinion. You can always triple captain on Palmer in 35 or 37 or Haaland in 37. If you are asking a question, it would just help me, guys, if you do let me know your chip strategy, just so that I can get the context there. Bilal has asked, should I take out Son for Eze? I think if you've got a wild card left, that's an easy move. But if not, I feel like you're going to want him back next week. Cole Palmer, thoughts on Odegaard captain for chasing rank at 1.7 million? I don't love it. I think, like, you look at the poll, if you want a differential captain, Saka and Eze is where it's at. Sue Jansel says, will Darwin start? We don't know. I think he'll start one of the two games. Have a look at the predicted lineups from Ben Dinnery. Obviously, he was benched in Europa League. You could read that either way. Potentially he does. I think he will start the first game. Whether he starts the second game as well, I think that's the bigger question. Daniel said, would you do Diaz for Foden or Darwin for Haaland? Wildcard next week either way. Diaz would be where I'd go. Mriddle says, by Darwin or Mateta? I would go with... I don't know. I would go triple Liverpool, But I do prefer going Diaz in midfield and then getting Mateta up front. Super chat in from Mark. Thank you very much, Mark. Play Reguilon or 8 Nori playing Flecken. Do you know what? I think I'd play Reguilon. The fixture. Personally, I think I can't see 8 Nori getting more than 1 point against Arsenal. He probably will play against Bournemouth, but I fancy Solanke to score in that game. Whereas Reguilon, I feel quite hopeful for another Brentford clean sheet. You've kept 2 clean sheets in 3, Brentford. They've conceded 4 goals since the break, kept 2 clean sheets. Reguilon started 2 games and got 2 assists and 4 bonus in those 2 starts. I mean, if like me, I think I played the double Brentford last week and it went well. Got a 7 and an 8. The week before, I benched Reguilon's 9-pointer. Glyn says, would you transfer Isaac to Mateta? No free hit. Bit more difficult because Isaac, in theory, is a player that you'll want back soon, but Callum Wilson is in training, so you may get away with it. It's nice to have as many tickets as you can, if I'm honest, to the double game week craziness. Please only ask your question once, guys. Give me a chance of getting through all of them. Sue Jan says top 3 Liverpool attackers to own. I would go Salah, Diaz, Darwin in that order. In terms of predicted points for this week for Liverpool players, Salah top, 14.8 predicted points. Darwin second on 10 predicted points and Diaz third on 9.9 predicted points. There's over 150 of you in, which is brilliant. We're only on 41 likes, guys, so do your thing, please. Leif says, should I captain Salah or Eze? I mean, it's risk v reward, isn't it? Salah is the shield captain, Eze is the sword captain. It depends whether you're chasing. Depends if you fancy Eze and don't fancy Salah, go Eze. I don't think there's a right or wrong with captaincy this week if you're choosing between Salah, Saka and Eze. Benny says, is it crazy to do a -8 for Diaz, Havertz and Robbo and taking out Foden, Son and Bradley? Again, without the context of your chip strategy, it's difficult to say. But Diaz, Havertz and Robertson, I think Diaz and Havertz are players that I definitely want to buy this week. Robertson, there was some embargo quotes, I think, from Klopp following the Europa League game about managing minutes. And it mentions rhythm. And Robertson's name was mentioned in there. It just puts me off a little bit. So maybe you compromise with a -4. Rohit says, Areola to Raya or Allison for a -4. Or Haaland to Solanke for a -4. Or Porro to Van Dijk. Already taken a -8 to bring in Eze, Mateta and Mitchell. Wildcard 35. So I think Haaland to Solanke could work. You look at forwards by predicted points this week. Haaland's predicted to score 5.4 points, Solanke 9.7. So that 4-point hit could well pay off. It's hard to comment on the other ones without knowing kind of who you would have to play. But what I would say is Solanke has 17 goals this season. He's in the Golden Boot race. And with 2 fixtures, I think it would be foolish to not own him. Howie says Gordon to Diaz or Isaac to Mateta. prefer owning Diaz over Mateta this week. Shamel's on captain Eze and Ahmed is on triple captain Salah. Like it. King Footy says Branthwaite or Nori. I mean, they're both minutes risks this week, having had those recent injuries. But I think Branthwaite will get more minutes. Seth says Diaz or Darwin. I've got to go Diaz. Defarsha says, does the 200k include free hits or just locked in transfers? Probably includes free hits as well. Semenyo or Cliver? Is Semenyo back? It must be. Oh, she wouldn't be asking. Did he start the last game? Didn't start the last game. I think it's probably got to be Cliver and current form. Stephen, why no Darwin Núñez? Because I just don't fancy it. I've had Darwin Núñez in my FPL team for a while. The thing is, I look at Diaz. If you look at minutes played by Liverpool players this season, Van Dijk top, and then McAllister second, and 6 minutes behind in third is Diaz. And the only kind of break he's had this season was when his father had been kidnapped. Like, he's an ever-present for Klopp. Whereas you look at Darwin, all season it's like he started and then he's benched and then he's starting and then he's benched. And given that, his form hasn't been prolific, the trouble is Liverpool were pretty much full strength away at Atalanta on Thursday, other than Darwin. Now, Liverpool fans, if there are any in the chat, let me know, seem to be of the opinion that Gakpo isn't trusted and Darwin will always be prioritised. But it was weird to see Gakpo start that game. Whether it's either because he doesn't trust Darwin anymore or he's in a situation where Darwin isn't capable of starting so many games in quick succession. But either way, that's not great going into this week. Ashley says, how's your cold? I feel like I'm getting bunged up again. I feel like I just need to keep the Vic there. Keep my airways clear. But yeah, better than yesterday, actually. Which is good. Thank you for asking. Would you do a Kanji to Gomez and Muniz to Mateta? Will be a -4. I wouldn't go Gomez. Again, he's going to share minutes with Trent. If you can get to Virgil, then I'd do it. If not, just do Muniz to Mateta for free. Nelson wants to know whether to captain Eze or Saka. I think Eze is ahead on the predicted points this week from Saka by 0.1. It really is that tight a call. I think the thing that would edge it for Saka for me is that Wolves away game now looks a lot better given Wolves' injuries. And then Chelsea at home, well, it's at home. I know Eze's got 2 home games, but I feel like Saka's just got that a little bit more. Like, Eze has got 2 double-digit hauls from 19 starts this season. And Saka's got 7, I think, from 30. We're at 57 likes so far, guys. We need to get it to 100. Keep your questions coming. I'm just going to check the tweet deck. We're 45 minutes to deadline. Let me know in the chat as well whether you think, what you think to my free hit team. Am I good to lock it in or not? And just keeping an eye on any leaks. I don't think there are any. I think we're okay. Seth says, I'm free hit. Should I go Diaz or Darwin? Minutes means Diaz. DB says, is there a price for your Cup and League? Unfortunately not, no. It's against FPL rules. And given that I collaborate with the Premier League, it puts me in a tricky spot in that regard. So, no, just bragging rights. Are you doing well in the league, DB? Let's have a look. Are you in here somewhere? Top is Abdenor Belabes, who is 167th in the world. Has been as high as 99th. Still got a bench boost to play. A joint, actually, with Sen Vossen, who's still got bench boost and free hit to play. And has been in the top 1,000 in the world since game week 14. Impressive stuff. Oh, he's doing well in the cup. Oh, I was out in the first... Was I? Was I out in the first round? Second round. That's poor. I'm still in a few cups. Probably the ones that started last week because I did okay last week. But yeah, it's pretty bleak elsewhere. Last 32. Few league standings, few cup matches. I don't think I've ever delved this far. Just trying to figure out now. Go on, tell me what your team name is. All I've got to go on is DB at the moment, which isn't helping me. I mean, if you're still in for the round of 32, it's pretty exciting. We'll come back to it. Getting sidetracked. Herman says triple captain Salah this game week. I prefer his form to be a bit better to triple captain, but if you're running out of weeks to play it, then go for it. Manuel, do you prefer Diaz or Havertz? It's really difficult to differentiate between the two. I like them both. T Black says, I don't have any chip left, only triple captain and bench boost. Right, let me go back to your original question. Depends who you've got on your bench, really, T Black. I think triple captain's fine this week as well. If you can get a decent bench boost together with maybe one hit, then I'd just go for it, though. Because I think triple captain, there's a couple more opportunities to go. Alan, best captain, Diaz or Havertz? So Havertz is predicted to score 10.3 points, Diaz 9.9. There's not a lot in it. I guess Diaz is a bit more consistent, whereas Havertz is more explosive. 2 double-digit hauls from Diaz this season. Havertz, I guess, is equal competition for places. 4 double digits from Havertz, all come within the last 8. Maybe just Havertz. Rob Kamal, free hit this week, going for Gabriel Munoz in defence. Who to choose the third defender? Double attack from Arsenal, triple attack Liverpool. Yeah, double Palace defence is fine. If you're not going Mateta, yeah, you could go Mitchell and Munoz. I think triple Palace is a decent shout. So, yeah, if you've got a slot in the defence. Remember, I think I read somewhere that Mitchell's on the right side in terms of where West Ham and Newcastle have looked defensively weaker. Halder says, will Ain't Nori play? I think the exact quote that he will is that he could be on the bench. Ryan could be available for the bench. So that's going to be I was just seeing Sackett in the morning. Oh, yeah, you're there, Flash Gordon. Yeah. Chips to play, yeah, he could be in there. So if you're coming up against a free hitter there, that's your problem. Your opponent's done a free hit as well. Got you. Yeah, so on 8 Nori, I think if he may come on as a sub against Arsenal, and then I don't know, against Bournemouth, he could start that game. But yeah, you'd be lucky to get 90 minutes out of him. I'd view it as a single game week fixture against Bournemouth. Definitely lost my place in the chat now. Got it back. Femi, on a free hit, I'm starting Senesi. Got a feeling that he'll get at least one attacking return. I need a defender for my third bench. Kilman or Mikolenko? Yeah, Mikolenko's fine. We'll have a start. Yeah, I saw something about he wasn't pictured in Arsenal's training pictures yesterday. Which will be this one, won't it? There's 20 pictures and no sign of him. I was trying not to be concerned, because we know that Arteta likes to play games. Is that Havertz there? Don't know, it looks like someone shorter. Is anyone concerned? I was trying not to be. Oh yeah, let me know what you think about that. Who knows? But yeah, I've still got him in my team. Nelson says Havertz is fine. Andre, would now be a good time to use the last wild card. I'd use it because the teams that double this week and the ones that double in 37 are completely different. I'd use transfers for this week, wild card next week, because Spurs and Chelsea, who double in 37, also double next week as well. We're at 80 likes, guys, so let's try and push over to the 100 mark. Just going to check on the tweet deck. See what's going on. See if there's any leaks. All looks quiet at the moment. Siraj says Munoz or Mitchell. It's a really tight call. Flip a coin. What about Saka as captain, looking to make up points? Yeah, go for it. I'm not going crazy on captain pick because I feel like being on free hit is perhaps differential enough. Biresh, why Van Dijk over Robertson? Just because I know Van Dijk will play every game. Robertson is kind of back from injury not too long ago, wasn't he? He started 2.5 games. I know Simicast hasn't really got any minutes either, but he is there and he is fit, so. Klopp mentioned about having to protect those players that have had recent injuries. Trump boy, which Palace player is explosive? Well, you know, it's the front three, isn't it? Mateta, Eze and Elise. Elise has only just come back from injury, though, which puts me off him. Sam Callow, Jota or Diaz on free hit? I'd go Diaz. Nelson on free hit this week. Is Burton Diaz a good fifth starting midfielder? Yes. Mark, bench boost 34 with 13 doublers? Yeah, sounds fine to me. If they're nailed to start. Bilal, should I take out Son, Ortega, Dubravka, Aït-Nouri and Bradley for Eze, Neto, Henderson, Van Dijk and Kilman? I like the move for Eze and Van Dijk, but maybe wouldn't make the other moves. Still struggling with the cold a bit, guys, but we're getting there. We'll plough on through. Ken, start Tony or Palmer? Gotta be Palmer. Tony's not guaranteed to start, so. Linford, is it ain't good to see you? It's been a while, Linford. Hope you're well. Ken says his triple captain Salah worth it. You're running out of opportunities in a double game week, so if you fancy it, go for it. Srinivas, -4, Doughty to Van Dijk or Semenyo to Nunes. I think I'd go Van Dijk. Aaron says his Tyreek Mitchell underlooked. Yeah. Global betting tips. Sell Foden or Bowen for Eze. Probably Bowen. Because it doesn't double again. Sumed, what do you think of Doherty on a free hit this week? I don't love it. Just because of the injuries for Wolves. Alan says, will Areola play? Is he still flagged? Yeah, he's still flagged. Who knows? Let's have a look at the predicted lineups. Potentially Fabianski still. I think if it's a late fitness test, then maybe he'll be in the squad, but not in the 11. Maxwell, sell Chan for Eze, worth it? Yeah, I think so. Robert wants me to do a poll, Trent v Virgil van Dijk. So let's send the captain poll. So, which Liverpool defender? So you've got Trent, VVD, add option, Robbo. Phantom, how many minutes do you think Haaland gets? Don't know. I mean, the trouble is, Arsenal and Liverpool could have 5 points on City by the time City play on Thursday. Liam says, are you playing challenge? Yes. Let me open that another tab. I've gone with 3 promoted players, I think, because they get double points this week. So I've gone Grubic, Ahmed Zokic. I've gone 4. Burton, Diaz and McBurney. And then I've gone Salah and Virgil, Havertz, Saka, White, Eze, Solanke. And then I've got a couple more Arsenal defenders and a couple more Palace players on my bench. Robert says he really likes my team for this game week. Thank you. I do as well, but, you know, whether it actually comes off or not is another matter. Dimeji, Diaz or Nunes? Diaz. Mohamed, double defence from Arsenal? Yeah, he could do. I'd go Gabriel and Saliba, though, I think. Matthew says, will Richards play for Palace? He's meant to be back, isn't he? Whether he'll be back straight in, I don't know. Not predicted to be. Super chat from OP Talent. Thank you. Free hit. Robertson and Elise on Munoz and Diaz. You're going to get way more minutes from Munoz and Diaz. well, more guarantee of minutes, I'd say. So I think that's an easy decision for me, that one. Thank you for the super chat. We've reached 100 likes, guys, which is phenomenal. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. Had quite a few new subscribers this week, which has been nice to see. Let me know if you are one of those new subscribers. I think we've had nearly 100, which is a lot for this time of year. For me, anyway. It's a lot for me, I should say. But yeah, good to see so many of you choosing to tune in with me today. I hope you're enjoying it. I am getting through your questions as well. It's a big week with the free hit, that's for sure. Eddie says, take a risk on Trent. On the poll, Van Dijk's out in front of 48% of the vote. Trent's in second on 30%. Robertson third, 21%. Please only put your question in once. Give me a chance of answering them all. Can't spot any leaks going around at the moment, to be fair. I haven't even just realised I haven't even got that's the better view, isn't it? Mancoba, I have 2 free transfers. Chip left his bench boost for 37. Okay. Can I do Son to Eze and Bradley to Dallo? Since I don't have wildcards, I'm starting to bring in double-in players in 37. Yeah, that sounds okay. Matthew says, will Richards play for Palace? I think I've done that one already, haven't I? Mohammed says, would you bench boost with Branthwaite, Aït-Nouri, Pickford and Haaland this week? Yeah, I think so. Just about. Whether you replace Aït-Nouri with another option is the question for a hit. What do you think of Doherty on a free hit this week? Don't love it. Argondaz, why Havertz over Odegaard? Purely because he's more advanced. Odegaard's had a few little niggles as well. Blake, don't have free hit, don't have Salah. Should I get a -4 for him? I think if you're having to completely rip up your squad to get Diaz in, I'm not sure if it's worth it. David, what do you think to Captain Odegaard? This seems a bit risky to me. I think Saka and Eze will be differential enough if you want to do something different. Adarsh, best 2 goalkeepers for free hit. I've got 3 Liverpool, Arsenal, Palace. Pickford all day for me. Let's have a look at the goalkeepers. In terms of the AI predictions, Grubic, followed by Pickford, then Sarr. Question from Ragstal's Doves. Should I start Semenyo or Palmer? I'd just go Palmer. Dufus looking for a 4.1 million defender. I think you're going to struggle. Defender up to 4.1 million. Yeah, it's not looking great. Sheffield United defender. I don't know if it's worth it. Just save for the transfer. Dimeji. Advice, please. Olise or Burton Diaz? I think I'd go Burton Diaz of those 2. I'm just not convinced on Olise's minutes. They're both predicted to score the same points, to be fair. Bench Pickford or Henderson? I prefer Pickford. Just. Spanner says, is -4 for Lewis to Palmer worth it? Dead ending. I think so, because I don't think Rico Lewis will start. And Palace defenders are predicted to score 7 points. Nelson, thinking of taking Gabriel out of my free hit team. Who are the 3 Arsenal picks based on expected points? Gabriel's up there. Saka, Havertz, Odegaard, then Gabriel. So it's triple attack. I think you've got to cover that Arsenal defence. Member question from Linford. I think I missed this earlier, so I do apologise, Linford. Looking to do another mini wildcard with my 2 frees. Need a Bradley Richards replacement and a Bowen replacement. Any suggestions? I think if you've not got Eze, I think triple Liverpool, triple Arsenal, triple Palace is the way to go. So if you've not got Eze, I'd go Eze. And then a Bradley Richards replacement, you want someone cheap, you could go with a Munoz, but that's a little bit short-sighted on this week. You also need to think about what your team looks for next week and the sides that double 35 and 37 as well. Arcady, I want to take a risk and sell Haaland and Palmer for Eze and Mateta. What do you think wildcard next week? Yeah. The only thing I would say with selling Palmer is check what price you bought him for, because he's gone up in price a lot. And you could, when you know you want to have him back next week, it's probably going to cost you a lot to buy him back. Alex, -8 for Gusto to Munoz. Bench boost left. Bench is quite interesting. -8. If you're going to have to play Gusto, he's predicted to score 2.3 points. So, yeah, probably could pay off in isolation. Hackney Man says Trent or Robertson. Trent of the 2, but I prefer Van Dijk. Pro looking to start Semenyo over Palmer, 8 Nori, Haaland. I wouldn't start him over any of them. Havertz or Diaz for captain? Diaz, Havertz. I don't know. My head says Diaz. My heart says Havertz. -4 for Eze or play Haaland. If you're wildcarding next week, I'd take the -4. If not, I'd keep Haaland. Any update on Haaland? No, we've not had anything yet, I'm afraid. It's been pretty bleak on the leaks front today. I've got WhatsApp and everything like that open, and I can't see any news at the moment, unfortunately. Let's have a look on the tweet deck. Yeah, it's not looking great, I'll be honest. What leaks are we wanting? I guess Haaland for the cup. Yeah, I get that. Is there anything else that we're particularly looking for? Let me know. Any news on Ivan Toney? No. Hang on, because I've got... There is... let me check my DMs, because there is someone that does give me leaks. Right, I'll get back to you on that one then. I've asked the question. to someone that I know is in the know. Maud says play Haaland or Palmer. I would play, I think I'd play Palmer of the two. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion. Palmer predicted to score 5 points. I think Haaland was 5.4, so probably not a lot in it if I'm honest. But yeah, personally, I think it's a tight call between those two. We are 20 minutes out to the deadline, so if you are wanting to lock in teams, you need to be thinking about getting on with that fairly quickly now, because there's not long to do that. Sorry, I've just got a bit distracted with trying to get a Brentford leak. I don't know if we're going to get it. I can't tell if the guy's online or what. Doesn't seem to be any leaks at the moment, put it that way. Hang on. No, that's not one either. Again, I've lost my place in the chat. Linford is also looking at benching Haaland. Tickle, I'm in a bad position. Don't have enough money to get Haaland in. If you use my train transfers, I held on to Tony. Should I take a -4 for him to Darwin or Isaac or hold? I think if we get a leak that he's benched, then I would take the hit, but I don't know if we're going to get it. Seaman, no chips. Sell Foden for Saka or Archer to Mateta and bench Haaland. So it's Foden for Saka. I think you've got to own Saka this week. Linford, looking to do another mini world. Oh, I've done that one, haven't I now? Sorry. Big Fat Giraffe. Would you take a -4 Haaland to Mateta? I mean, it's a -8 really, because you're going to buy Haaland straight back next week, I'd imagine. So I don't think you can. Any news on Ait-Nouri? He's only good enough for the bench this week. Mahmood says Saliba or White, have Gabriel. Saliba, I just feel like White could be the wrong side of a 60-minute or be benched. Lewis says Ait-Nouri to Van Dijk or Trent for a -4. I don't mind it for Van Dijk. I think there's credibility in that. Kieran says Gabriel definitely going to start both games. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Let's put it that way. Sorry, just had a little bit of a cough. We are 17 minutes out to the deadline now. Triple captain Salah's fine. Abdi's play Haaland or -4 for Eze. I think I'd take the -4 for Eze, if I'm honest. My phone's going mad. No leaks, so unfortunately. Peter, best Ait-Nouri replacement. Van Dijk and Gabriel are my 2 starters. A Palace fullback. Nebio, Solomon, Tony, I don't know. We've not got a leak. We're 15 minutes out, so I don't know. I don't know whether we will or not. Let's see. Ben says Haaland or Isak. I don't know. Haaland or Isak? I think you just keep the one you've got. Ashish says, I accidentally hit transfer instead of free hit, then did a free hit right after. Would I still lose my points? No, free hit cancels any points hits, whether you activate it straight after the previous deadline or whether you do it. But please make sure that if you are planning on free hitting this week, your free hit is active, else you'll lose a ton of points. Has been done before. Linford's asking for the word on 8 Nori. Could be available for the bench. This is for Arsenal. I don't know beyond that. Will McBurney start both games? I don't see why not. He's been consistently starting. Obviously, he had a little bit of an injury. Even from the bench, though, he can make an impact. So I wouldn't worry too much. Pickford v Neto. I prefer Pickford. I think Everton are a better defence. Captain Salah or not, if not who? The other options are Eze and Saka, but Captain Salah's the one for me. Craig, Gabriel or Ben White? Gabriel. Alan says that bench boost with Pickford, Haaland, Sarabia and Branthwaite. Yeah. Ashley, who do you think is the best double game week defence to get for 6 million? To take you up to 8 double game week players. I think under 6, it's double Arsenal defence if you haven't already, or one of the Palace wing backs. Ethan says, do I buy Virgil? Yeah, would do. Gabriel Jesus could be the star here. I hope not. Broken toe, should I play wildcard? No, next week's the wildcard window. Hugo, which City defender long term? Vardiol. Bugrill got Walker's back though, so maybe Walker. Got 8 doublers this week, including 8 Nori. Bench boost is the only chip left. Take hits to recruit Trent and or Mateta. Nah, I wouldn't do. Peter wondering what Palace defender. I just prefer Mitchell, but there's not a lot to separate him and Munoz. Senesi's expected points for Mitchell's. Senesi is 5.9. Mitchell was 7. You can, if you want to use a tool, by the way, guys, you can get this on Fantasy Football Hub with a 7-day free trial. So I'll drop that in the chat. And pin it as well. I think it's in the description, to be fair. But yeah, if you want to be able to customise, then that's the best way of doing it. We are 12 minutes out to the deadline. No news on Tony. No news on Haaland as things stand, which is annoying. Done my best. Slipped in a few DMs to try and get some news for you. But yeah. Doesn't seem to be happening for me today, unfortunately. Just check the tweet deck. Yeah, it's all quiet. No news is good news, right? So it's just giving everything a little refresh. Lewis, is Haaland worth a sell this week? Probably not, because you're probably going to want to buy him back next week, and it's going to take you 4 to sell and then another 4 to buy. Kuna or Solanke? Kuna's out, so Solanke. Ethan said, what if I had made more transfers? It doesn't matter. Arsenal leaks? No, nothing. Do I think Foden starts? Who knows? They've got to play in the cup first. Nicholas asking what page I use for predictions. It's pinned now. Azaro, bench Pickford or Henderson? It's a tough call, but I would go Henderson bench. We'll do a little bit on Fantasy Challenge once the deadline's gone bonkers. Chloe, I've got 2 free transfers, no wildcard and free hit. 0.2 million left. Any advice? I think you've got a good mix there. I think Bradley can go either way. You're not going to be able to get there, are you? In one move. Yeah, you're a bit stuck unless you sell Son. You could do Son out and Bradley out for Palace as a... Would that work as a Palace defender? It's hard seeing your team written down to visualise it. Jack, do you think Foden will start? I don't know. Have you asked me that already? He's got the cup first. Havertz, we don't need to worry about yellow cards. They've played their 32nd game now. That was when the threshold rose. Garnacho or Palmer? Palmer. Palmer to Olise for a -4 or start Garnacho? Just play Palmer. I think I would be more comfortable playing Palmer and benching Haaland, vice versa at the moment. We're 9 minutes out. Birdie is in. Good to see you. Scott has gifted 5 memberships. That's amazing, Scott. Thank you. If you are in and you've got one, make sure you thank Scott. So the ones that got them were Chloe, who I've seen today, Shaz, Lalex, who's been commenting, Shamil and Aryan. Thank you, Scott. That is amazing. Really appreciate it, buddy. Kazaka says 8 Nori to Van Dijk for a hit or plays the Barney. Plays the Barney. How are we doing on leaks? Have I got anything? I don't know if I have. I keep knocking over the Vic, which is not helping. Can't see any evidence of any leaks anywhere. It's a bit annoying. Let's try the tweet deck again. I don't know if we're going to get anything, guys. We're 7 minutes out now. Make sure you've got those free hit chips active. Oh, literally all of them have said thank you. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, members' questions do get priority responses. It's just double checking everywhere to see that I've not missed any leaks, but I don't think there are any actually. Sadly. It's just one of them weeks. We are 6 minutes out now. Still a bit of time to cover questions. My PC's starting to get a little bit louder. Standard. Linford with a start 2, bench 1, Palmer, Gordon, Eze. I think I'd bench Gordon. Shamil says -4 for Mateta. I'm not as bothered as I would have been for like Eze. Chloe, I'm going to bring in Mitchell and Eze for Son and Bradley. Go for it. Good luck. I have got a leak from Brentford. Tony not in the squad. So those of that have been asking about Tony, that's the big news. I mean, we saw what happened with leaks last week though, guys. I'm only passing on what I'm being told. Please don't come at me with spears if turns out to be incorrect info. But that is a leak. Tony not in squad. That's quite big news because a really nice fixture this week for Brentford. So hopefully you find that useful. I'm trying to update the graphic, but my computer is not playing ball with me. Christian said sold Tony for a -4. Yeah, I think if you're still hanging on to him, this is definitely the point to sell. It's like a pair of really nice home games, but it's just not worked out, has it? I think I sold Tony a few weeks ago, and to be honest, I've not really looked back. I've lost the graphic altogether now to try and... There we go. Yeah, that's updated. Tony not in the squad. I may just pin that one. I don't know if I've spelt it right now. There we go, yeah. Right, we are 3 minutes out to deadline now. Shaz says, Gabriel or White? Gabriel, just more guarantee of minutes, in my opinion, on that one. Let's have a look at the tweet deck again. I'll get on to Fantasy Challenge Bonkers, but it's not, the deadline's not for another hour yet on that one. Yeah, just making sure there's no more leaks about. But yeah, that is the big one. Can't see anyone else reporting it. So it could be a special for this stream, but yeah, Tony not in the squad. 2 minutes out to deadline. I feel like I need to open the tweet deck in another tab so that I've still got my team on screen for you guys. But if there is anything else late, I can then report on it for you. Linford thinks he's locked. Good luck. Chloe says, I hate that I have to bench one of Palmer or Garnacho. I wish I didn't. Yeah. I would start Palmer over Haaland, Garnacho and many other single game week options. We are about 1 minute and 15 seconds out to the deadline. The breaking news that I've got for you is that Ivan Toney is not in the squad for Brentford. That's possibly the only leak you're going to get from me today, but I can't see anyone else reporting it. So it's for the in the knows that have joined and dedicated their morning to this stream, the 180 of you that are in at the moment, that Tony is not in the squad. It is now filtered through onto FPL Twitter with 35 seconds to go, but I brought you that a few minutes before that. Unless Will's got his info from me, I doubt it. But yeah, Tony not in the squad for Brentford v Luton, unfortunately. Definitely a sell now. If you want Darwin Núñez, go for it. I like Solanke and Mateta for the double game week. Apparently the website is down, according to Fantasypedia. Oh, it's still loading here. Maybe it's transfers that you can't make. I mean, who cares? The deadline's gone now anyway. We are done. That is the deadline. I am locked. Free hit is locked in. I'm excited. I've gone with 3 Liverpool, 3 Arsenal, double attack for each one. I've also gone for triple Palace with Mateta, Eze and Mitchell. Pickford and Solanke are in there as well. I can't remember how many predicted points this was meant to get me. I think it was like 120 or something crazy like that. So hopefully it'll be a good week. I need a big week. Yeah, apparently the FPL server did crash during that, which is pretty interesting. I'm not going to reload it now because I've got my team on screen and I'm sure, you know, anyone that's still in will kind of want to see that over other bits and bobs. It does give us a little bit of time to get on to FPL challenge teams though, which I'm sure a lot of you have got entered for this week as well. And we've got the kind of the mini game for this week involves promoted punt. So that means all players from promoted sides get double points. So where you go with that, I don't know. I think Sheffield United are the only ones of the promoted teams that double this week. So they're the only ones I've bothered with. Because I think Luton may struggle against Brentford. I think Burnley will struggle against Sheffield United. So I've gone with... Oh, Aryan says, thank you, Scott, for the gifted membership. So polite in the chat today. It's great to see. Yeah, so I've gone with 4 players from Sheffield United. Grubic, Ahmed Hodzic, Brereton Diaz. I never know how to say that. Is it Brereton? Is it Brereton? And McBurney. So that's me 4 from Sheffield United. And then I've only gone 2 from Liverpool. Gone with Salah and Van Dijk because they're the ones that I'm most sure will get minutes. I've actually gone Brereton Diaz captain. VJ in with a super thanks. Thank you, mate. You did one of those yesterday as well. You're too kind. So yeah, we've got gone with him as captain. So we're only Salah and Virgil from Liverpool. Gone triple Arsenal. I've gone with White just because I feel like he's got the... Sorry, I'm losing my voice again. Got the highest ceiling from the Arsenal defence. I know I've got Gabriel in a free hit. But yeah, it's a bit of a different scenario there. You got to go bold in these challenge teams. And then yeah, Havertz, Saka, Eze, got to be Solanke. I don't know how I've been doing on this actually. Game week 33, I only got 67 points. I think my main team did better than that. I benched Kuna. I don't really know what went wrong there. Top 35%. Not so good. The week before was okay. Got 91 points. It's top 30%. Week before that, top 15%. Had a nightmare first week. So, yeah. I guess I'm due a good week. We'll get lineups as well, though. Brereton Diaz. QFPL down under. Ashley says, thank you for all the advice today. Hope you enjoy the games and you get rid of the cold soon. Yeah, thank you. Pushroll says we all need a big week, Flower. Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Oh, what a week. That's the last of my chips, by the way, as well. Which is a shame. That's for sure. Right, I am going to leave it there, though, guys. Thank you so much to everyone that has tuned in today. Yeah, there should be another deadline stream next week. I'm not on Sky now till the end of the season, so we're safe there. But yeah, thank you everyone that's joined me. Good luck for the game week, especially those on free hit. And we'll see where we are at the other side. Thank you.